So, social media and politics. How should it mix? The owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg,
The
said a little
Lizard
bit
King.
ago, the Lizard King, yes, said a couple weeks ago that he feels that it should be the government who regulates Facebook and fake news. Facebook got really criticized for how their platform handled different information during the 2016 presidential election, where we saw a rise in fake news, fake articles being shared throughout Facebook, given to people as fact. Do you think he has any type of point there where he says, as an owner of a private entity, that it should not be up to the private sector to regulate themselves, that the government should step in and regulate Facebook for him?
Well, the conundrum with that is that such a thing like Facebook, you can't. It's harder to sort of break it up like you would a traditional monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook owns, I believe, 80% of the market, 80 to
Mm-hmm.
90%, something like that.
Yeah.
So the government really needs to come in here and dictate better regulations to keep this enterprise in check. Fake news is an issue not only here, but it's Facebook is having issues with it across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
There's especially in Western Africa and places like that where a fake news or some sort of thing like that will spread and you'll have riots erupt or you'll have hate crimes committed and things of that nature because of this.
Yeah, I feel that today in the world we have access to more information than we ever did before. And it's very hard for people to comprehend all of that information and make effective opinions about it and effectively correlate that to their actions. So when we talk about regulating something like fake news and Facebook, should we just ban politics from a forum like Facebook at all? Because I feel like politics on Facebook in general, even if it is completely true, it's also toxic. Like, I feel you could see the correlation in political polarization to social media as well, because we could share whatever we want. We do not need to accept rebuttal. We can just block people if we disagree with them, dislike their comment. I see on Facebook now, you see Bernie Sanders post something, Donald Trump post something, Andrew Yang post something. You could even see people who like dedicate all of their time to just posting toxic like memes in the comments or laugh reacting to political posts. They're not even considering other sides of situations. And there seems to be no test on Facebook to make sure that the posts and information people are reacting to is even correct information. So do you think we should completely limit like politics, like corporations from politicking on Facebook? Or because I'm not sure if there is any solid regulation you could provide, because then you get into the realm of the government only showing, or conspiracies that the government is only showing what is on their agenda. So like say right now we have that big cancel culture issue where we saw people like Alex Jones get kicked off Facebook. We saw a lot of conservative brains be kicked off different social media platforms. And I feel that they'd get scared in the form of regulation, that they would just regulate who they feel, even if it does take away the fake news. I guess it's a cost benefit analysis between should we eliminate the fake news and also risk cutting down on actual legitimate sources, or should we just let it as is and say it's a necessary evil? Like,
I see what you're saying that regulation is problematic because of infringement on the First Amendment right. But then you went into corporations doing talking politics on social media, and that's an issue I think that goes really well with the Citizens United case. But that's something that corporations should strictly be economic entities, and they
mm,
shouldn't have their foot in government and politics.
Okay, so does that count as Facebook making money from political advertisements? Because they are profiting from these fake news sources, paying to be sponsored on different websites and paying for their name to be shared. So basically what we have is Facebook is being hijacked. It is a great tool for connecting people and bringing organizations together, but it's being used for the wrong thing.
Right. So as you're saying, pretty much anyone can buy ad space on Facebook, and I think we could do something similar to what banks are supposed to do when someone comes in asking for to trade currencies or things like that. The bank is supposed to look into who that is, their affiliations, and if there's any sort of suspicion, then it's supposed to be reported to the proper officials. So I think we could have a similar system where executives and employees of Facebook could investigate who exactly these people are that are trying to
Hmm.
buy ad spaces, and you could dictate who can buy these ads on a case by case basis.
So on that topic, does that mean that the government requires Facebook to hire their own personnel for that? Or does it mean the government provides personnel to do that? Because then you get into the realm of corporations are going to do whatever maximizes their profit. So we need to incentivize them having these measures. So is the answer to make a government program for that? Which is kind of, I mean, I guess both are dangerous because the entity can have their own biasy, plus the government can as well. So do we force that personnel to be private or social?
No, I think it should be a burden of the private industry to uphold these. It's just I don't believe the federal government provides any sort of funds for these fact checking at banks for loans and whatnot.
Mm.
So that's completely on the private entity to make these sort of decisions.
So basically, with ownership comes a lot of responsibility, is what you're saying.
Correct. Yeah.
Because it really is such a lucrative business model, how much it's grown. Facebook right now, I have a list on hand right here. Facebook owns WhatsApp, Instagram, Masquerade, the Moves app. Do they own Snapchat? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
No, not yet. I feel like they will eventually. But out of their mergers and acquisitions, they have acquired 80 other companies. So Facebook right now, like if this was in Teddy Roosevelt's time, it would be broken up, wouldn't it?